Welcome to Wax Pro Uncut. I'm Rachel.
And I'm Erica.
And we are going to answer a few questions that our family and friends have sent in.
This is the fun edition.
The fun edition.
Great. I'll get started.
You pull first.
All right. What's your least favorite service to do?
Hands down, full leg. Full leg is like the bane of my existence. If I could never do a full leg again, I wouldn't. Which it's funny because I work for myself, so I could definitely take it off my service menu. But it makes the most money. Like, it's such a big ticket item.
High risk, high reward.
Yes, we've talked about that before. But yes, full leg for me. What about for you?
Mine are the digits, the fingers and the toes.
Yeah.
So any part of the full arm or full leg when obviously you do the hands and toes. That hair is so freaking stubborn and stupid, and there's no real great way to do it.
You have to go over it like 900 times to get it
right.
out.
And there's always hairs left over no matter what you do. It's just incredible. So that's mine.
Good. Okay. Next. What is your worst habit in the wax suite?
My worst habit in the wax suite is tweezing. I just get obsessed. Like, I cannot stop with the hairs left over because, especially in a Brazilian, like if they're coming off of shaving and their hairs are on different cycles, there's just some shorties. And I'm just like, I can't let you leave like this. Like, I know it's not my fault, but I know you're going to think it's my fault. So I just obsess.
You get to it.
Yeah.
I said this in a different episode with Lauren, but mine is I wait till the very last second to order my wax. I always run out of wax. That's so bad. That is like terrible practice. Like, you have to have wax to perform services on
we need
people.
to talk about that later.
So I know you need to have it on like auto ship or whatever it needs to be, but I'll think that I have enough time to put an order in and I just wait too long, and then I end up going to your local beauty supply store to buy mine for 3 times the cost.
Right.
Which is super unfortunate for me and my finances, but
Right.
that's a me problem. So
It's a me problem.
it's a me problem.
We'll work on it. Next one is, where do you hope to see the industry in the next 5 years?
I just hope to see it more refined. I hope that there's more continuing education like what we're providing. I hope that, licensed professionals are able to succeed, on their own without failing, trial and error. I hope that, more people can build their brand and succeed in a way that speaks to them versus having to go work for these big name companies.
Yeah. I would say that I would hope that beauty schools could find more educators. A big challenge in the beauty schools is that there's just not enough teachers. And in saying that, the quality suffers when there's, a shortage of your educators. So I'd love to see that, as well as just revisiting the curriculum that's taught in school. Like, how is it still the same?
I don't know.
I don't get that. And I feel like students deserve, the best education. They're paying a lot of money to leave school feeling like, what did I learn? Yeah.
Just that feeling underprepared, and there's just no follow through from the schools, which is unfortunate.
Right.
Okay. Next. Why did you leave the corporate wax world?
Well, I think I kind of talked about this in another episode as well, but it's basically like I just wasn't being my authentic self anymore. I evolved. I grew mentally and spiritually. I didn't want to be pushing people and not caring about their personal lives. And, at some point, I mean, if you worked for me, you probably know this. It's just about numbers, production, being faster, higher rebook, higher service per ticket, higher, just everything was more. It was never enough. Take out your lunch break. Can you stay an extra hour? Can you work on Saturday?
Can you work a double? Can
Right.
you work this person's days off that they requested? And I don't
Right.
have coverage.
And
Yeah.
eventually just became like painful for me. It's just like, oh God, here we go. Was I great at it? Sure. Could I negotiate and get my way at the end of the day? Yes. Did I, produce a crazy amount of revenue at these locations? Yeah. Lots of awards, lots of recognition. But at the end of the day, did that like fill my cup? No. So it was just time to go. Yeah. What about you?
I knew that I was going to leave when I was pregnant with my daughter, Penny. And I asked upper management if when I came back from maternity leave, if I could work 4 10s instead of 5 12s. And I was told no. They said that that didn't work for their scheduling platform, that nobody else was allowed to do it. So you can't. Like, I know you've been here a long time, at this point, 10 years. And there was a part of me that just felt like, why not? Like, you guys run the books. You can make it look like however you want. But it was just so set in stone what their corporate standards were. And I knew in that moment, like, oh my God, I'm just a number. Like, that's all that I am. It doesn't matter. Truly, if I came back, like, I had a huge following at that point, but they wouldn't allow any shift in my schedule. And so I thought, all right, well, I'm going to take my quote unquote maternity leave, because I didn't even really get that from them. That was all just unpaid time off. And while I was on maternity leave, I was like, I'm not fucking going back there. I cannot go back there.
Yeah.
And it took me stepping out of it and having some time off to really know. I mean, this is terrible to even describe it this way, but it really did feel like a cult. Like, you didn't even know how bad it was until you left.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that, like, you repetition, the continuous, like, day after day, thing after thing, rinse and repeat. You just feel so sucked into their schedule, their structures, that I didn't feel like I could break out of it. And by default, by being pregnant and having to leave, I had a break that I thought, I'm not going back to that. So that's my answer. When I was pregnant and I knew, like, that they weren't going to
Work with me
at all for my schedule coming back, I'm like, all right, I got to figure out something else. So
yeah.
So I
valid.
did. So I didn't go back.
Super valid. All right. Next question. What was aesthetics school like for you?
Aesthetic school for me was actually very disappointing. So I went to one of the nicer, I hate to keep doing that, but like, it really was, in the state of Arizona, the school that I attended had the highest cost of tuition. And I went having earned a like $3,500 scholarship. Like, I wrote a paper and got to attend this school at a lower cost, which is great. But even at that, like, I still paid $9,000 for aesthetic school. And so to go to one of the nicer aesthetic schools or more expensive aesthetic schools and still feel like I fell short is so discouraging. I went from a 5-day program where I attended Monday through Friday from 9 to 5, and then all of the teachers quit. So 3-4 months into my program, they went, hey, can we switch you to the weekend program, which was all day Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So they were like long days on those days. And I was like, yeah, sure, that's fine. They moved me to that. But in turn, when they moved me to the 3-day program, they skipped over completely the waxing segment of my schooling. Looking back now, like, as an industry professional, I was like, oh my God, I probably could have sued these people. Like, I really did not we didn't talk microblading. We didn't do really in-depth facials. We didn't do peels. I didn't get a makeup unit. Like, it's crazy to look at what I paid for tuition and what I got.
Yeah.
It was so upsetting. So they moved me to the 3-day after like maybe 4 weeks at the 3-day program. The 3-day program teacher quit. Then they moved me to nights. So I went Monday through Friday from 5 to 9 p.m. And that they made me accelerate my course, quote unquote, to meet the girls that were in the night program, because at this point there's only 2 girls in the night program. So they needed to catch me up to the hours that those girls were at. So they allowed me to do like accelerated hour accrual. So I could get like extra hours for coming into the spa on my day off. I could go to the art museum and get extra credit hours. I'm telling you, when I got the most fast-tracked version of aesthetic school, I'm not lying. It's it's really unfortunate.
Wow.
But
I did not know that.
Yes. So then they moved me to the night program. I ended up graduating with these girls. So from my first day of aesthetic school to the day I graduated was 4 months and 5 days.
Wow.
Which is crazy. Like, you're not supposed to finish it that fast. I'm really good at what I do, I promise. But my training like fell way below the standard of what should be, especially from a school as highly ranked and prestigious as this one claims to be.
Right.
So, and that is why I'm so passionate about what we've done, what we've built, this industry as a whole, because like, if I could be given the resources I was, and no, I didn't fail, but came out of it feeling how I did, like, what are other people feeling like going to different schools that are maybe less prestigious or with less resources? So I did not feel fully prepared from the school that I went.
Right. And I was just going to add, I'll tell you what it felt like to not go to a prestigious school because I knew what I was getting into. So I think in one of our earlier episodes, we talked about, you know, I would hire these girls out of aesthetic school when I was in management. So I knew it just didn't matter what school they went to. They were all going to come out knowing nothing, and I was going to have to train them on everything. So when I went to aesthetic school in my later life, I'm taking your air quotes. I'm taking your air quotes from you. I was just like, give me the cheapest program, the fastest program. I don't even care. So I knew what I was getting into, but like I also did it. It was very ghetto. So I don't mean to talk mess about any brand, but it was bad. I mean, there was, I think like my second or third day, granted, I'm a, you know, at the time a 30-year-old woman, you know, there's a lot of younger girls who maybe didn't have the same plans as I did to like start my own business. My second day, there was a fight in the parking lot. It was crazy. Like the teachers got involved. Like they were out there, you know, it was just such a mess. It was just like constantly something like that. You know, the girls would like clock in for hours and then like ditch, like leave campus. It was just like not a good experience. So I just went there to sit through my hours. I can tell you the theory, like I learned nothing. Honestly, I'm a really good studier. So I just got a study guide, like platform where you logged in, like someone shared their credentials with me. We all kind of shared the same login, and I just studied for my state boards, and that was it.
So, like, what kind of wax training did you get? Any at all? Do you remember doing waxing in school?
Yeah, we had like a week long, but like no one showed us. They were just like, here's some clean and easy, like soft wax. And we were just like, you know, practicing on each other. But luckily I came with experience, right? So I would like teach the girls in school how to do it, which is nuts because I'm not a teacher. I wasn't, you know, licensed to do it, but I felt like responsible for teaching them how to wax safely because no one else knew how to, not even the teachers. So, yeah, that's as much as we got, and the product sucked.
Right.
Like it was
I do remember that as
bad.
well. It was like some shitty little pot.
Right.
That like 6 of us were sharing.
Yeah.
We're all supposed to be doing a full leg on a pot like this big.
Right.
Which
yeah,
is
like
insane.
6 of you to a tiny pot to like do a full leg. Like it was just crazy. So knowing that, I think that's, you know, one of the key items that fueled us for building Wax Pro Academy is like, we know what you're getting in school. There's not a chance that you could start your own waxing business without going through training at a big corporation, franchise, whatever, or Wax Pro Academy. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next we have, what's your craziest client story?
Buckle up, friends. Okay, so at this point, I was not an esthetician, I was in management. But it was a really crazy situation, okay? We had a client who called the front desk and was like, I need to talk to management. So here I come. All right, what's the situation? Here I come. What's the situation? I'm talking to her and she's like, I'm going to sue you guys. And I'm like, okay, let's bring it back a few notches. Like, what's happening here? You know, tell me what's going on. She says, I got chlamydia from you guys.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
I was like, what? Okay, so mind you, I'm like full customer service. I'm like, okay, well, can you tell me, you know, why you would make such a claim?
Can you spell that?
Yeah. Like, can you tell me why you think that? And so she's like, you know, I went to get waxed there and, you know, a week later I have burning and discharge and I went to get tested.
A week later, mind you.
Yeah. And I went to get tested. I have chlamydia and I'm going to see you guys. I said, okay. Well, here's what's going to happen is I'm going to contact the owners. We're going to set up time with our lawyer to discuss this and you can have your lawyer contact our lawyer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. So she did get a lawyer. I don't know how a lawyer even took that case on. But okay, let me fast forward here because, you know, that took a long time. Phone calls back and forward, blah, blah, blah. I'm over here taking pictures of where we store the wax. I'm talking to the waxer that did the service. And so this is where my investigation skills really kicked in.
God, Inspector Gadget, I love
this. Was really
okay,
good.
Let's hear it.
So I go to the waxer. I'm like, hey, can you recall anything out of the ordinary about XYZ client? And she's like, well, no, what's going on? Am I in trouble? And I'm like, no.
You might be.
No. Unless you slept with her on the clock, then yeah. So she's like, what's going on? And I'm like, I was just wondering if anything stood out to you about her at all. And of course something did. She's like, oh, well, she told me that she was like going to go hook up with this guy.
Oh, God.
Hold on.
It gets more.
She was married, though. So she full-blown told the waxer.
She was having an
She was
affair?
having an affair. And so she was getting waxed to go fuck this guy.
And the plot thickens.
Oh, and it gets better. You guys, it gets better.
Okay.
And so I'm like, hold it. I said, are you sure? Are you sure? Like, would you go on record about that?
Wait, which waxer? We can blurb this out later. What is it? Oh,
Yeah.
this is rich. She wouldn't lie.
She wouldn't. And so I was like, okay, you fucking bitch. You got chlamydia from
Your affair.
homeboy. Husband's like, what the? And she needs to pin it on something.
It's going to be us.
It's going to be us. So I was like, I made it really personal. I was like, I'm going to burn this place down before she gets a fucking dollar out of us. Like, you're good. You're fine. Bleep out that name. We're good. I'm going to go to town. So I'm taking pictures. I'm submitting full-blown, like, I'm committed.
Reports.
Yeah, I'm committed, like, essay style. Like, not a chance this bitch is going to get away with this. So lo and behold, we're on a call. I'm on the call with our lawyers and then the client with her lawyer. And so I flat out brought it up. Well, let's just say that case got dropped immediately.
Case closed.
Case closed. But also, like, it did help that I submitted the photos of, like, where we stored the wax, our sanitation process. You know, we wear gloves. We never double dip. Like, all the things that we did as a corporation, right? And as you should, as a esthetician in your
best
practice
practices always.
But that really saved our ass was that we had all the steps laid out, all the documentation, and we had that piece of information. So that's one.
From an inside man.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably sit here
good.
all day with these stories. I'll save the other one for another time. Your turn.
I don't know. I have like a lot. I'm not sure where I should go because I
Well,
have some.
You have to talk about butt plug girl. Please. That's my favorite one.
Okay. It was a rainy Saturday.
First of all, that's a goddamn lie. It does not rain in Phoenix, so
Sometimes. This chick comes in. I do her entire Brazilian. She's laying butterfly, right? So palms of her feet touching. She hugs her knees to her chest to do the butt strip, and she has a sparkly butt plug inside of her asshole.
just hanging out, dangling.
Just hanging out. It's there. I'm a new waxer, so I don't really know how to handle this. I like go to grab my wax. I'm like going to lay the strip, and I see it, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I don't say that, but I'm like, oh my God. And she's like,
Hello.
what? And I said, oh, I just didn't expect to see jewelry, I think I said. And she's like, oh my God, I left my butt plug in. My
Oopsie.
husband and I were going to try anal later. And I forgot that my butt plug was in to start the stretching process.
Yeah.
Is what she says.
She's disgusting.
So what I feel at this point is if you forgot it was in, you don't need it.
Right.
However, as a new waxer with little to no experience of how to handle these situations, I could have dropped dead on the spot and been fine. Like, that is how I went out. I tell her, oh, no problem. I just wax around it because I don't know what else to do.
Right.
But it was honestly shocking. It was shocking.
I remember because you pulled me aside afterward and you're like, Erica, I just saw the weirdest thing. And I'm like, what? And I remember, like, in detail, you said, it was a star with diamonds on it.
It was purple. This is like 12 years later and I still remember it.
Yeah, traumatizing. Wow, great
Okay,
question.
so client stories. We could honestly do an entire episode on
Let's do an entire episode on that next time.
All right, next question. We have to move on. What is your greatest accomplishment in the industry?
All right, I'm going to go a little cheesy, sentimental, but
Let's.
well, I've just had an overwhelming amount of now ex-employees who are now successful on their own that maybe at the time when I managed them, mentored them, trained them, they fucking hated my guts. And I know it. Like, it's okay. It's a part of, the title.
But you've had like full circle moments with all of them.
Right. And I feel like maybe industry is too broad, but I have really worked with so many estheticians. I feel like I've done my part contributing to at least the foundation of their success, whether it was building their confidence, pushing them, breaking them to rebuild them, and all the strategies of manipulation that I use. I feel that it was all worth it in the end, and they know now why. And I'm not just, like tooting my own horn
You're not.
or
No,
being
I
cocky.
can attest to that. You're not.
A lot of them have reached out to me afterward, even apologizing. Like, damn, like you were just really trying to help me out, and you did. And now I know this, or I am this because you gave me a chance,
Well, I think you always, as my friend and also manager, you always knew how to walk the line well of like how to be a leader and someone's higher up and also their friend, which is super hard to do. And not that it matters now because none of these people work for you now, but
Right.
I do think that you did a great job doing that. So
Thank you.
cheers to you.
Thank you. So back to you. What's your greatest accomplishment?
I mean, working for myself, being able to leave and be successful, obviously I work now in my own salon space, which is huge, but there have been so many moments of that where I felt like, what am I doing? Why? Like, what is it for? What is it all for? Please. But Wax Pro really is like my greatest accomplishment. I'm glad that we were able to put this course together and kind of compile all of our knowledge in a space that matters and will help future professionals.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, current day for sure. Mine too. I mean, everything we've put into Wax Pro, it's like I've never been more proud of the work that we've done on a project like this because it's quality.
Yeah.
Like we know what we've put into it. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. All right. So next question. Who's your favorite client and why?
So my very favorite client of all time is a woman I will not name on camera. But she has been with me from the beginning of the wax corporation I will not name. I have seen her and waxed her for probably 15 years, but she is a boss ass bitch. She owns multiple Jabs boxing gyms in the Valley. She's just like so legit. I love that when we are together, when I'm waxing her, we have like real conversation, real dialogue. And she gives me like business advice and talks to me about the salon or about this. And it's so authentic and genuine. And she has my best interests at heart. I love that it's not like, okay, give me your money. It's time to see you every 2 weeks. Like she has a standing appointment, but she's so genuine. Like my client professional relationship with her is unreal. She is my absolute favorite client of all time.
Wow. So much passion.
Shout out to you.
Who we can't say.
Who we can't say.
Mine is a male client
Oh.
who is very much like what you were saying. Like as you were talking about her, I'm like, yeah, that's mine too. He is one of my just favorite people, honestly. You know, he genuinely is interested in my life, in Wax Pro, in, you know, my business coaching, and he has such great advice on everything, boys, on whatever it is, you know, and he makes me feel like I'm not just his waxer. Like
Right.
he wants to be here. He's super happy with the service every time. He compliments me every time. I just feel like it's a really good relationship. Definitely my biggest ticket client as well, and that has nothing to do with the fact that he's my favorite, but I make sure I take
Like I swear, it doesn't matter.
but I take really good care of him, you know, and
But it's interesting that you say that because I think that's important to talk about of like there were so many people that I have waxed in my career where I have felt like I work for them. I'm doing a job for them. I'm the help. I'm the person that's just performing the service.
my Brazilian girl.
Yeah, my wax girl. Like I have a fucking name. Thank you. I perform a service that nobody else can do like me.
And I could rip your labia off.
And I will tear you a new asshole, actually. I just might.
Might literally.
But no, there are these clients that you cultivate this relationship with that are like friends and family and like that bring you a Christmas card or a gift or like they cancel and they pay you anyway because they missed their appointment. Like it matters. It goes beyond just like, hey, this is someone that I wax and it's someone that like I rely on and I look forward to seeing in my books because they take just as good of care of me as I do of them.
100%. You
yeah,
have
I think that's
to
important.
also recognize like which clients take care of you,
Yeah.
right? Not saying that you short your clients of an experience because they don't take care of you,
Yeah.
but you have to take extra good care of the
Right.
ones who pay your bills.
Right. Which we haven't talked about yet. When you do, if you are going to bring a book of people with you or tell certain clients when you're leaving, this is the space where you have the power to build the clientele that you've always wanted.
Right.
You decide like who your favorites are, who are the people that matter to you and you want on your books, who you want to continue to service.
Right.
That matters. So
Right.
you give them your information or tell them how to find you.
Right.
And then everyone else that comes along the way, you know, you get to decide if you'll continue to service them.
Right.
If they don't meet your, you know, standard as a client, then you don't pre-book them or give them the option to book with you. So,
Right. And on the flip, even if it's a new client that found you and came to see you at your salon and you're not vibing or they don't have good etiquette, or frankly, even if they have really horrible hygiene and it's just like not a good fit, guess what?
It's your call.
You get to decide who you service. You could refuse service to anyone for any reason.
I don't, because I'm a pussy, but it's fine.
I'm like, you, sir, I'm never going to see you again. Get the hell out of here.
Okay. All right. Tell me about yourself outside of Wax Pro Academy. Who is Erica?
Who is not Erica?
Well,
I'm a lot of things. Well, I'll lead off by saying that I am a passionate human being. I love to make things better. I don't care if it's your eyebrows or your asshole.
your relationship.
Your relationship, sure, that's a good one. If I could give you advice, if I could listen to you, if I can help organize your closet. I mean, I just like to make things better. Like I like to take a scenario and flip it. I think that's why I like waxing, is that gratification of making something better.
Yeah.
Right? I am the hardest working person I've ever met.
I can attest
Wait,
to
have
that.
I met myself? Yes, I have. Besides my father. My dad,
It's really sweet.
my God, he is something else. But I'm very driven, self-motivated. I love competition. I don't care what it is.
Scary, actually, how much you like it.
It's very bad.
It's terrifying.
So I'm competitive, yet loving, and I love to make things better. I'm also an aunt and a daughter and a sister and a business partner.
Yes, baby. So I am everything Erica is not. We complement each other so well in that
And you
way.
just learned the word yin and yang. It's
Oh,
not-
I thought it was ying with a G.
I was
and
like,
yang.
that's the yin yang twins, sweetheart. Which is
I'm
valid.
thinking of the rappers. No.
We are yin and yang.
I am completely non-confrontational. I hate competition, but I think we complement each other so well because you're a strong personality and I'm more of a soft personality. I'm married. I have 2 kids. I almost said 3, which is crazy.
Oh, God.
It's only 2.
Better check that
think-
out.
Rubbing off on me. No, but I've been in the industry for 15 years. I thought I wanted to be a teacher. Now I'm an esthetician. Now I'm a Wax Pro founder, all the things. But I think it just all circles back to creating this platform of something that is meaningful for people who need it. I'm glad that we could do it together
Me too.
as friends from a former life. It really does feel like a former life.
Yeah,
When-
God, yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because we interviewed a friend in a previous episode who hadn't seen me in a long time. And she was like kind of referencing like my former, like, I guess, persona, which was a manager and, just a different personality. And she's like, I could tell she just felt like, we were so different.
Yeah.
Right?
But there's so much growth that's happened. It's insane, actually.
I love it.
I
It's
know.
great.
It's for the best.
Evolution, baby. All right. What's your favorite service to do?
Brazilian. It makes the most money in the shortest amount of time. And we love money.
We love it. Well, I'm actually going to say something completely different.
Okay.
And it makes a lot of money too. And it's going to surprise you.
Underarm.
No.
Eyebrow.
Male eyebrows.
Ugh.
I'm not kidding
They're
you.
so picky.
Oh, no, they're not, boo. They're not. They want some straight lines like this. They want just a little bit.
See, but this goes back to like, there's a seat for everyone at the table. Like,
Right.
if I hate doing male brows, Erica
I love
fucking
them.
loves it. So
I love them.
you
I
go
love
see-
trimming them. I love, like, they come in all, like, weird, like, don't make them. And I'm like, shh. Let me do my thing. And then I do. And, like, I'm not kidding you. I get 100% tip on every male eyebrow or more. I mean, I literally, it blows my freaking mind.
Erica.
Did you know that about me?
No.
I mean, is
But
it
now-
because maybe they're pervs? Probably,
Maybe,
but
probably.
it's okay.
Okay, well, this is the same. What service do you know you just slay?
Oh, yeah.
Well, what men's brow?
Yeah, men's brows. But I will say I have very few female Brazilian clients because my whole business was built upon men. That was the concept. So the very few female Brazilians I do get literally say, I've never had anyone do such a thorough job. Also because they're coming off of these waxing chains where they have maybe 15 minutes for Brazilian. And for my first time Brazilians, another thing you probably don't know about me is I book an hour.
For a first time Brazilian?
I do. Again, tips through the freaking roof. Like, I make in that hour what I would do in 2 Brazilians on one person.
That's great. I mean, if that works,
That's my strategy. I just go over the top with getting every hair, tweezing, ingrowns. I write them. And actually, we have a few viewers in the room right now. We have an audience, I should say. And one of them's my client, and she could attest to this, that I will personally tell you exactly what to do to restore your skin or ingrown hairs, like step by step. Here's what you're using. Here's how often you're using it, because my goal is to make sure that is perfect.
Ooh, the whistle. Perfect.
I could finally whistle again when I get my lip filler done. I can't whistle for a while, so.
All right. We have one last question.
Ooh, that's you. Wait, what
Why?
service do you slay? Brazilian?
Brazilian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my. If you weren't waxing, what else would you be doing? God.
On a yacht with a zaddy.
I'm like, nothing.
yeah, nothing.
I would be
sugar mama.
Frito loading off of Eric Tuvali. Shout out. Thank you for supporting
Yeah. Shout out Eric for supporting us.
our
Truly.
dreams.
I would. All right. If I had talent, first of all, I'd be in a fucking band. I just want to be on stage, rocking out so bad. I get so jealous when I go to like
Cannot.
concerts. I'm like, that should be me.
What would you like?
I just want lead vocals, man. I don't even need an instrument. Just let
okay.
me fucking rock
Okay,
out.
this is like dream.
I don't know.
Dream.
I'm answering the question.
The question was more.
That's
I was
what I'd be
thinking
doing.
like,
Okay,
I'd be a
realistically,
teacher.
I'd be doing what I do during the day now, which is business coaching. I do enjoy it. Yeah.
Lead vocals for.
Oh my God. Like, I want to be Gwen Stefani, basically. But
Okay, that's
no
fine. That's
doubt
fair.
era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that
Okay.
feels fair.
So why don't you give me realistic and then a dream one, since I just exposed myself?
Well, realistic, probably a mom, just living off Eric Tuvali, and then dream one. I don't know. I would own like a really high end baby clothes store.
What the fuck?
Because like when I go to
so random.
you didn't see it coming.
I didn't see that coming.
When you go travel, when you like pop in and it's like this like high end like little baby suspenders and shit. Like I want to own that. I want to like.
Do you want to design it or
No,
just own
no.
it?
I want to be the storefront. I want to be the pusher.
be the pusher.
I want.
Wow, we keep referencing
Yeah.
the pushing
Yeah.
and Mean Girls.
So
Wow,
Okay.
I never knew that about you.
yeah,
20
high-end-
years. and that's the
high-end
first
baby
time.
gear that I wouldn't buy for my own kids.
Great.
Okay,
Well, that was a fun
that's it.
episode.
That was a super fun episode.
Thanks for joining us today and learning more about our
Our journey in Wax
journey,
Pro.
Wax Pro, and some weird stuff.